My name is David Merrill. I'm the head chef over here at the Cedar Room. What I hope to bring to the community is an opportunity to explore new horizons that people maybe haven't before because it was too expensive, too intimidating, too abroad. And I just kind of want to bring an opportunity for people to try new things in, exciting ways that, are still small town affordable. Stop on by at the Cedar Room located here in the historic Canteen District.
Now play the best of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. KOOQ North Platte, K251CP North Platte, 98.1 and 1410. We're online too at northplattepost.com. The following is an Eagle Media Sports presentation. North Platte High Sports on northplattepost.com, FM 98.1 and AM 1410 are brought to you by
Justin Thompson Agency, American Family Insurance, Hands of the Heartland, La Casa del Rios, Dave's Place, Cole Jonason with High Street Insurance.
North Platte will reset the offense. Eli Broman steps back for three in the corner again. That is 3 threes for Eli Broman today. 9 points, and a timeout going to be called by Alliance.
Al's Lock and Save, State Farm agent Bobby Holtz, Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, The Fortify Group, Larry's Glass, Shelter Insurance agents Pete Bolt and Brett Rogo, Puro Clean.
Now to Gans. Gans. Oh, that's going to be stolen by Kaminsky. Kaminsky up the court now with it. Having Kaminsky Euroing up for the layup.
Oh, it's a left-hand scoop.
Great Plains Health. Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy. Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Runza. Double Dips. Merrick's Ranch House. Mid-Plains Community College. Szechuan Famous Food and Sushi Bar. The Cedar Room.
Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome in, everybody, here to Sherman Field. It is some district baseball. North Platte High School is in the A-2 district bracket as they take on Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets today. Again, in A-2 opening round action. This is the playing game, 4-5 seed. Winner of this match will go tomorrow to take on Lincoln East. So North Platte sitting at number 5 in terms of their ranking in this A2 district bracket. 4-20 on the season compared to a Lincoln Northeast squad that sits at 11-15. I'm Paxton Gordon, sitting beautifully inside a press box just here in Sherman Field, joined by our newest sports director for North Platte and Eagle Media. Garrett Pogg joins me. Garrett, it's a pleasure to see you, and congratulations not only on getting the position, but also congratulations here. We're starting your baseball tenure off with the highest, stakes baseball game there is so far with district baseball. But first off, it's a pleasure to have you here with us, and a pleasure to have us on the call today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Beautiful day for baseball. Both teams that I think both coaches would say would have underperformed up to this point in the year, but are ready to kind of right the ship and get a nice win to maybe end their season.
That's right. Of course, I hate to say end their season, but, who you have to play, with the team you got to play tomorrow, number 2 in the entire state, Lincoln East, it's an uphill battle. So
Absolutely.
You got to, of course, take it one step at a time. In front of you, North Platte High School taking on Lincoln Northeast. And you said it exactly. Both these teams have struggled this season, while, Lincoln Northeast sits at 11-15. A lot of the games that they have lost have come against some of the top teams in the Metro and Omaha area. As for North Platte High School, they had the 3rd toughest schedule this season with playing some of the teams that they've played. Like, listen to the schedule that they had to play this year. It's absolutely incredible. Gretna, Papillion La Vista, who is hosting a spot. Of course, you played Lincoln East already. They're the number 2 team in the state. Omaha Westside, who is number 1 in the state. Then you have Malcolm, who in their respective division is number 1 in Class C. Then you face Norfolk, Grand Island, who has historically been a great baseball program. Omaha Catholic, who, no shock to anybody else, is just as good as they always are in their respective class. Kearney, who is up there, Lincoln Northeast. Holdridge is your one lone victory here in the last couple of weeks, and they're a tough squad, but not as good as they used to be. A very strong Adams Central squad, North Platte St. Patrick, or Maxwell St. Patrick's, as well as a tough Omaha South team. And then Creighton Prep, who is also top 10. Crete, and then Standing Bear, and then you're, of course, facing Lincoln Northeast here today. So the third toughest schedule in all of Class A, and that's kind of how North Platte got to this 4-20 mark. And it's a tough road that they had to go through this season, the grinder that is Class A. But it did kind of help, since they did go through those tough teams, their power projection points helped them get to where they are right here, facing a Lincoln Northeast squad that maybe is probably their most favorable matchup, just because both these teams not really good when it comes to hitting this season.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And, the thing to note with, and we'll transition to Lincoln here right now, actually, when I say that, and for the Lincoln, all the teams that they've played with 5 wins or less, they actually have run ruled, and they've beat them in 5 innings or a little bit more than that. So it's still an uphill battle, even though this is, like you said, probably a favorable matchup compared to all the other dogs that they had to face this season.
Yeah. And again, for North Platte, you feel a little grateful that you didn't land in a bracket where you had to face immediately off Lincoln, the Lincoln East. You at least get a warm-up game to play in it. So Dean McIntyre will be on the mound, the statistical best pitcher for North Platte High School. And just like last year, North Platte came into that game against Norfolk as the underseeded team, and they ripped off a victory, and then almost in that next day when they faced off against Creighton Prep, almost beat Creighton Prep. So really anything is possible here in the district playoffs. Your record may be what your record is, but when it comes playoff time, it basically resets 0-0. Everybody's on the same ground who's playing baseball, and it's up to this point. Whoever's the best that day is the team that's going to come away with the victory. Now, of course, North Platte had a longer travel today, so we don't know how much that's going to affect them. But really, the grounds are set for a 0-0 matchup for whichever team has the better game today to come away with a potential victory. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of faces into, again, as you said, not a good season, but all those season woes just get wiped away during playoff time.
Absolutely. You got to be the right person on the right day against the right opponent. That's all that matters in the playoffs. Like you said, throw the records out.
That's right. Throw them out, baby. I love throwing out the records. When we come back here to our Quick Stop pregame show, we'll jump into our Double Dip Size Creamery starting lineup, as well as our Al's Lock and Safe keys to the game, and many, many other things here. A-2 district battle between North Platte High School, the 5 seed, Lincoln Northeast, and the Rockets, the 4 seed, when we come back on FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at northplattepost.com.
Start your day with gourmet coffee with Quick Stop's 100% Arabica house blend and Quick Stop's Seattle Buzz coffees. Quick Stop Rewards offering exclusive discounts and fuel rollbacks. Savings up to 15 cents per gallon with Sinclair Dino Pay using your debit or credit card. Quick Stop can refresh with Frazzle gourmet slushes and For Real shakes and smoothies. Or customize your favorite fountain drink with flavor shots and everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Always something right around the corner. Quick Stop.
When cancer touches your life, you need care you can trust without traveling far from home. Great Plains Health Callahan Cancer Center delivers that expert care every day. We're thrilled to welcome Dr. De Silva, a board-certified physician with over 3 decades of experience treating cancer patients. Quality cancer care is closer than you think. Call the Callahan Cancer Center at 308-568-7386.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Looking for your next ride? Come to Bill Summers Auto Group in North Platte. Whether it's a brand new Ford, Honda, or Nissan, or a reliable pre-owned vehicle, we've got the inventory to match your needs and budget. Our dedicated sales staff is here for you before, during, and after the sale. Plus, great financing options are always available. Family is our business, and we can't wait to welcome you to ours. Stop by South Highway 83 in North Platte. Bill Summers Auto Group, open 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop. North Platte.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, everybody. FM 98.1, AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon. Garrett Pog right next to me on this beautiful Thursday evening in tonight for some district baseball. Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, always open right around the corner. Let's jump into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting a lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District in North Platte offers 24-plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. Double Dips also offers homemade waffle cones and bowls alongside homemade fudge, freshly baked dessert. Here we go for the side of Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets. Barrett Bott, the center fielder, will be batting off in the leadoff position. Zane Long, the designated player and hitter today, with Drew Van Dyke at shortstop, Carter Cohn at third base, Tyler Anderson in right field, Gavin Domi at first base, Hunter Newkirch, the catcher today, with Ashton Claw at second base. Cloth at second base. He'll be the 8-hole hitter. Colton Sims in left field, and Ezekiel Arizola, the pitcher. Before we jump into North Platte High, we'll go to the national anthems. With that, we'll step aside, take a real quick break, come back here on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
Services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Did those cold winter breezes make you realize there's more air coming into your house than there is outside? If your windows are rattling, fogging, or just plain drafty, it might be time for new ones. At Larry's Glass, they specialize in high-quality replacement windows that keep the cold out and the comfort in, saving you money on your energy bills, too. Stop shivering and start saving. Call Larry's Glass today or stop in at 211 West 5th. See the difference new windows can make.
Getting the most out of your college experience doesn't have to break the bank. At Mid-Plains Community College, you'll receive personalized instruction at an affordable price so you can transform your future. Don't spend another summer just thinking about your next step. Take it. Enroll in summer or fall classes at MPCC and put your goals into motion. Start by applying and connecting with an advisor who will help guide you on your journey. Your future starts right here. Learn more at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live streams. Continue on with our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup with North Platte High School. Jackson Peters leading off in center field. Ty Handelborg at shortstop. Dean McIntyre, the pitcher today, as we stated earlier in our pregame. Jacoby Silos catching. Connor Stifler at third. Cade Freeze at first. Kobe Simance, the designated hitter today. Jacoby Jonas at second. Dakota Bandy in left field, with Landon Polk being the flex player today in right field. Yeah. All right. Let's quickly, before jump into our Owls Lock and Safe, keys to the game. Owls Lock and Safe, securing North Platte and the surrounding area for over 50 years. Well, Garrett's going to start on the pitching mound. I really think today these two teams don't really have had the best hitting season that we've ever seen, so it's really going to be on the pitchers to see who's going to be the one to hold down the fort the best versus the opposing hitting squad. And if somebody's able to do that, I think they'll be the ones that are coming away with the victory today.
Exactly. And Lincoln Northeast, having the advantage of playing at home, it's worth noting that Sherman Field, the home stadium today, has a turf infield but a grass outfield. And there's about an inch and a half lip between the infield and the outfield. So worth noting that if a lot of these grounders are going to race through the infield but probably stop when it hits the grass.
Yeah, and you bring up such a great point here. That's how a lot of these turf fields, infields play, is that, there'll be rocket ships running through the infield, but the second that ball touches the grass on the outfield, boy, that ball just comes to a complete stop. Of course, on the mound here, Ezekiel Arizola for the side of Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets. 3.6 ERA with a 2-1 record in his 7 appearances so far for Arizona. 2 1/3 innings pitched in the season, coming in with a strikeout total of 13 with 6 walks, as facing off against Jackson Peters, who skies one over to right field as that's up in the air, and calling for it is Ashton Clough, and he'll get there and secure the pop fly for out number 1 in this first inning. Jackson Peters going down swinging with a pop out for Ty Hanneborg this season for Mr. Ty Hanneborg. Second on the team in terms of his batting average, .333 average, 14 RBIs, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple for the senior. As Arizona's first pitch to Hanneborg is upstairs for ball number 1 here in this opening inning of play.
Worth noting that Peters swung at the very first pitch that was in the zone. I'd like to see him sit on a couple more.
As that one sneaks in for strike number 1 from Ty Hanneborg from Ezekiel Arizola. Wind today, not as gusty as it's been the last couple of days. Still a nice breeze between 7 to 10 miles per hour. As that next pitch from Arizola is tight around the face to Hanneborg, 2-1. Time and temperature brought to you in part by Cole Johnson with High Street Insurance. 2-1 now to the shortstop, Ty Hanneborg. As another pitch is dragged outside from Arizona. Ball 3-1.
A lot of off-speed, struggling to hit the zone so far.
As Ty steps back into the batter's box, ready to potentially see a walk. Arizona can't find the strike zone with this next pitch. 3-1. That one grounded on over to short, picked up by Drew Van Dyke. Quick blaze, gun over to first, and it gets out of Gavin Tommy's glove, and that is an error for the side of Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets to lead off in this inning as Ty Hanneborg gets on following that mistake at first. As Dean McIntyre, the big boy batter who leads the team in a whole bunch of categories, this time for hitting, .344, leads the team in RBIs with 21, leads the team in doubles with 8, does yet to have a home run, currently at 0, and 1 triple to his name as well, as he'll swing and foul a ball off from Ezekiel Arizola for strike number 1. Ty Hanneborg is at first, and knowing head coach Ricky Olm will be seeing some aggression on the base pad from the Bulldogs today when they get a runner aboard. Arizola tries to pick off Hanneborg, but he gets back in time.
And it's do or die for these North Platte Bulldogs. I mean, only 4 wins on a season. You're going to give it everything you have, knowing that, tomorrow you're facing a much tougher opponent. So why not just give it everything you have in tonight's matchup?
That's right. Only if you win will you face Lincoln East tomorrow. You lose, your season comes to an end. As Arizola gets the sign in from Newkirch, and another pickoff attempt will get Ty Hanneborg back. So
Hanneborg was a little slow there. He managed to get back in time, but got to be quicker with those reflexes.
Of course, Arizola is struggling a little early on in this ball game in terms of his pitch placement. The 0-1, there goes Ty Hanneborg. Quick throw over to second is not going to be in time as Hanneborg successfully steals second base, and you just knew it was coming no matter how many times Arizola tried to get Ty Hanneborg to stay at first base. He's unable to keep the speedster away, and he gets to second now in scoring position for North Platte High School. And the funniest thing about what's going on here specifically today in terms of well-known quantities, as I got to scrolling over to find this real quick because this is going to be something that'll be funny kind of to talk about at the same time, is that a current coach for Lincoln Northeast, formerly from North Platte, as McIntyre launches that to center field, but easy to grab the out. And now we're with 2 down in this inning, a runner still in scoring position at second. Of course, former North Platte man Drew Byer, of course, Byer family well known in North Platte in the baseball world, coaching over at Lincoln Northeast, and he's well aware of how head coach Ricky Holm likes to run his program in terms of aggression on the base pads. So following the pop out from Dean McIntyre to center field, now up to bat for the Bulldogs, Jacoby Silos. Silos on the season, .239 batting average with 5 RBIs and 1 double to his name. Has Ty Hanneborg in scoring position at second base. First pitch in from Ezekiel Arizola was a ball. Long stare down to Handelborg is going to take off to third as that's going to be lofted foul down the right field side for strike number 1. And with that, Handelborg is going to make his way back over to second.
Aggression's the right word. I can't imagine. I mean, first inning, you're already trying to steal third. It's aggressive.
One thing you'll learn from Coach Holm is that there is no other word in the dictionary for him besides aggression when it comes to how he likes to run his baseball team from positions on the base bag. Doesn't matter if you're at first or second, heck, even at third, he will send somebody running if given the opportunity as Handelborg goes back following Arizola's pickoff attempt.
So
1-1 the count now with 2 down.
So if I looked up aggression in the dictionary, I'd see
You'll see a picture of head coach Ricky Holm.
Right.
Yes, you will. As Arizola, another quick glance at second, delivers a off speed. That's lofted from Silos into left, but it's going to be grabbed by Colton Sims, and that's how this inning comes to an end. North Platte did get a runner on following an error, but were unable to bring him home. And with that, we go to the bottom of the first inning. How can the defense and pitching hold up from North Platte? You'll have to find out when we come back here to Sherman Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Side effects of displays may include uncontrollable wing cravings and arguments over who gets the last slice. Our pizza is made from fresh dough.
With the best wings in town, fresh pizza, and the cold drinks, let's just say you'll want to stick around. Plus, the coldest drinks that give you one more reason to say, yeah, I'll have another.
Bring the family. Dine in, carry out, or DoorDash it straight to your couch. No judgment here.
502 East Francis in North Platte.
Dave's Place, where sharing is optional.
Whoop, whoop.
For over 85 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-and-agent.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. Video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Paxton Gordon, Garrett Pong beside me here. North Platte tied with Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets in the now bottom of the first inning. Half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortified Group. See him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as Justin Thompson Agency. Check out their offices today in North Platte, Ogallala, Broken Bow, and Ord. Dean McIntyre is on the mound for North Platte, 5.12 ERA this season for the Bulldogs. He is their best pitcher statistically this season, and North Platte has thrown a lot, 22 strikeouts, 14 walks given up by the senior man. As the first pitch he'll throw into Barrett Bott is outside for ball 1. His second, a fastball that's below the knees for ball 2. Not the best season from a pitching standpoint for North Platte High School, averaging as a team 10.18 ERA, and that's one of the things, of course, you miss when a lot of your senior players from the past couple of seasons have graduated that you've known for a long time from Legion Ball, like, of course, Caden Johnson, Easton Jones, Jack Polk. Going to see some regression in a huge youth movement as the first ball, actually the most recent one, in for strike number 1, 2-1 from McIntyre, as that's felled off by Bont for strike number 2. Again, this is single elimination district tournament ball. Winner of this matchup will go face number 2 in the state, Lincoln East, who is the host school for tomorrow's matchup. They're the number 1 team in this bracket. As McIntyre with a 2-2 count gets the side from Jacoby Silos, the righty, now steps up and delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Barrett Bont for the first strikeout of this ball game for Dean McIntyre. as Zane Long will now come up to bat for the Rockets.
And that's a huge strikeout to get. He's their best batter, not only from a hitting standpoint, but from a power standpoint as well. If he's batting first, I imagine he's got some legs.
He's a man who can almost, do it all for the Bulldogs. As Long, 304 batting average this season with 7 RBIs and a triple as he fouls the first pitch off that he sees for strike number 1. Of course, Dean McIntyre, I remember it was like yesterday, 4 years ago on this day. Of course, making his way up to the Senior Legion squad as a freshman. Now all the way here in his senior season. Trying to keep the season alive for the Dogs. That's lofted out to left field. Back at it goes Bandy, and an easy grab for Dakota Bandy in left field. And there's a quick 2 up, 2 down for the Rockets early on in this bottom of the first inning.
Only 7 pitches thrown as well. To be able to keep that pitch count low, trying to keep yourself competitive in this game, that's important.
That's one of the issues that Dean McIntyre has had over the years when it's come to his pitching. He's struggled in terms of his pitch efficiency. The power has never been a question. It's been more about his control and his efficiency when he's been given the opportunity to pitch. His fastball low below the knees for ball 1 to Drew Van Dyke. Van Dyke this season, 3rd in terms of hitting percentage, technically number 2 on the team in games played to get him a high batting average. 353 average, 28 RBIs, 8 doubles, 3 home runs, leads second on the team for the Rockets as the next pitch from McIntyre, another one that's off speed into the turf for ball 2. It's 2-0 the count with 2 down in this bottom of the first inning. McIntyre gets the sign from Silos and the 2-0. Fastball high, but sneaks in for strike number 1. 2-1 now the count. Following Van Dyke, it's Carter Cone and then Tyler Anderson for the Rockets.
And that last fastball was up near the wrist. Those are hard hits to make.
When he does get some good control, he can paint the corners really well, as that next fastball, unfortunately, unable to touch the spot he wants. 3-1 now. And again, as I said, power's never going to be the question when it comes to Dean McIntyre, built like a freight train, but it's more about that control and pitch efficiency that's he's struggled with a lot of these seasons, as that one's squared up and fouled away by Drew Van Dyke, and it's now a full count, 3-2. With 2 outs, can McIntyre make it a quick 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning?
And we talked about the pitch count, 7 coming into this at-bat, now all the way up to 13.
Long stare down to Silos as he gets the sign. McIntyre likes what he sees, and here comes that 3-2 pitch. It's outside, ball 4, and there's the first walk of this ball game as Drew Van Dyke will make his way over to first.
You mentioned the pitching being the main issue with this North Platte team. Got to be able to get these runners out and get these 1, 2, 3 innings, as you mentioned, to avoid, guys like Dean McIntyre, who's been so successful for this team and one of the leaders for this team, to prevent him from being out there for 100 pitches in 4 innings.
Yeah, Van Dyke, who's currently at first base, 13 steals on this season, as that pitch right around the letters and there for strike number 1. We seem to early on noticing a very high pitch zone right around that chest. If you get it a little higher than the letters, you might find a strike in this ballgame early on, as Carter Cone is the batter for Lincoln Northeast, as and Drew Van Dyke at first, a steal threat for the Rockets. 13 stolen bases on the year so far, and it comes to batting for Cone. 224 average with 12 RBIs and a triple. Another stare down at first to Van Dyke. McIntyre delivers. Another pitch up high, and Jacoby Silos flies up from his catcher spot, trying to thwart a potential steal from Van Dyke.
Van Dyke with 13 stolen bases this season.
1-1 the count, still 2 outs here in this bottom of the first inning. As McIntyre, long glance, delivers. Swung on and going out to Bandy in left field, but he stands pat and gets under it, and that's how this inning comes to an end. Yes, a runner did get on the base pads for Lincoln Northeast, but the Dogs were able to not have him go any further than that. We now head to the top of the second inning. North Platte tied with the Rockets, 0-0. We come back here to Sherman Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, a video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Long workdays, busy weekends, workouts, and everything in between. So when something hurts, it's hard to ignore. At Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists, they treat heel pain, plantar fasciitis, ingrown toenails, sports injuries, diabetic foot care, and more. Their experienced team focuses on real solutions, not quick fixes, so you can get back to moving comfortably. Don't let foot and ankle pain slow you down. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today and stay active with less foot pain.
John just tried Runza's new Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally
What?
You know, boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'?
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. Of course, live streaming as always on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Top of the second inning. Half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortified Group, helping Nebraska families, farmers, and businesses for more than 50 years. As well as Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, bringing those services to the North Platte area. As Ezekiel Arizola on the mound for another inning, this time he faces off against Connor Stifler, and there's first pitch in, strike number one. Stifler, if you remember earlier in this season to start the year, off to a rough one because got cleated on his hand, stepped on during practice and needed to get stitches for the first game, and has been trying to not only work his way back up, but get into a comfortable rhythm as quickly down 0-2 versus Arizola, but that one way off the mark for ball number one. Stifler this season, of course, after that slow start, batting 175 with 4 RBIs and a double.
He is third on a team, though, in on-base percentage and second in steals, so it's going to be very important that he gets on base.
Off speed, and you just had to jinx us right
on
there.
me, guys.
Garrett is off-speed pitch from Ezekiel Arizola gets Connor Stifler frozen, and there's the first strikeout for Arizola today, and it's out number one for Cade Freeze, the man who's going to Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Will be on the mound tomorrow if North Platte High School does advance to take on Lincoln East as he faces off against Arizola for the first time today. The senior going to Kansas City, Kansas Community College in terms of batting average. .257 this year with 2 RBIs, 3 doubles. And now playing at first base as he swings and misses for strike number one. It's 1-1 the count now. Kobe Simance on deck and Jacoby Jonas in the hole.
Arizola with a legendary almost off-speed pitch. Got him swinging early.
Freeze and Arizola both get to their respective places and now are ready to rock and roll. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Off speed again is fouled off by Cade Freeze. Now Arizola is starting to find some more comfort after a pretty solid first inning.
Bit of a slow start with those first two batters, struggling to find his own. Now he's in rhythm. Those off speeds are mesmerizing to look at, and I'm sure the batter thinks so too.
1-2. Here comes the count from Arizola. That one's tapped into center field. Will it get down? No, as Barrett Bott able to get underneath it. It's a quick 2-up, 2-down to start this top of the second inning. And this is kind of how North Platte's season has been, where they've had a couple of good, hit balls out into the outfield, but just not low enough to draw in a hit or far enough to get one out of the park. And now with 2 down, here comes Kobe Simance, part of that youth generation that's making its way through North Platte High, the freshman this season. .250 batting average for the Dogs with 7 RBIs, 1 double. I talked to the pregame show as this is really the last rotation of talent that started 4 years ago for the American Legion team as Simons turns that to the gap in right center, and it's going to go all the way almost to the fence. Simons, the freshman, is going to stroll his way to second with a stand-up double. And, a great season so far for Kobe Simons. Continues to rock and roll as he launches one to the gap in right center, and now there's a runner in scoring position with 2 down in this inning.
Almost like he knew that pitch was going to come. He timed it up perfectly, and like you said, just barreled that thing all the way out to
and
center
now
field.
We have one freshman to another freshman. Jacoby Jonas also now up to bat so far this season for Jonas. A little bit ahead of Simons with a .260 batting average as he swings and misses on a pitch for strike number 1. Both these two guys, as I said, part of that youth movement for North Platte High School. A lot of new names going to make their way through the program. A lot of the staples aging out. Could freshmen bring another freshman home versus Ezekiel Arizola and break this stalemate? Off-speed pitch. Just like the last one, into the dirt. This time, Jonas didn't swing. To go to Bandy is on deck, and then we go back to the top of the order with Jackson Peters, who's in the hole.
2 outs. Got to be careful here.
Arizola delivers. Swing and a miss for Jacoby Jonas. All three of the pitches from Arizola so far in this at-bat have been well below the knees, and unfortunately 2 of them have made Jonas swing. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Arizola, long stare down at second. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. An off-speed pulling away catcher Hunter Newkirk. And with that, ball number 2 of this at-bat.
And that the turf infield, he was able to slide over and get it without really moving too much of his body.
2-2, 2 outs. John is trying to keep this inning alive and move the runner over. A fastball straight into the dirt. Oh, that's a problem there as Simons unfortunately gets mixed up on the call and will run his way over to third, and that's how this inning will come to an end. A mistake on the base pads. Unfortunately, we'll have this inning come to an end. North Platte had a runner in scoring position. We're unable to bring him home, and with that, we head to the bottom of the second, tied 0-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard when we come back.
The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo, about Shelter's competitive renter's insurance rates.
Craving bold flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Tied still 0-0 now in the bottom of the second on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Half inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See him and his location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as our other sponsors for today's game. Bill Summers, Ford, Honda, Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, Larry's Glass, and Shelter Insurance agents Pete Voles and Brent Rogo.
Very encouraging start for Dean McIntyre, striking out probably the best batter for Lincoln Northeast. Let's see what he can do here.
As McIntyre now will get set for his next round of battles, this time versus Tyler Anderson.
And McIntyre is such a late release. It's tough for those batters to see exactly what he's going to throw.
0-1 the count to Anderson to begin this bottom of the second inning. Only one hit so far accrued between both teams, as another fastball will sneak around the ankles for ball number 1. 1-1 the count so far this season for Tyler Anderson. .290 batting average with 6 RBIs. 4 doubles to his name. A 1-1 count as McIntyre delivers. Very tight inside, and there's ball number 2, 2-1 the count.
Anderson with wearing a hoodie underneath his jersey. I gotta imagine that slows you down when you're running around the base pads.
2-1. Next pitch in. Turned on and fouled to the parking lot for strike number 2.
Hopefully that doesn't hit the company car.
Yeah, I'd have to pay for that if it did get hit.
Comes out of your check?
I don't know whose check comes out. It might come out of your check
Oh,
this
yeah,
time.
probably. I'm the new guy.
That's right. 2-2 the count, nobody out. Here in this bottom of the second inning, McIntyre gets set for Anderson, and now will deliver. Swing, and a miss. Another strikeout for Dean McIntyre, this time as he blows the fastball past Anderson. And there's out number 1 in this bottom of the second inning.
Second strikeout today.
Gavin Dammy now up to bat for the Rockets of Lincoln Northeast. So far this season for Dammy, .244 batting average with 3 RBIs and 2 doubles. First pitch into Dammy, swung on and missed. Strike 1.
Would have been called a ball if he did not swing there. Curious to see how aggressive Dammy's going to be in this at bat.
0-1. 1 out, nobody on. The bottom of the second inning between these two teams. High up, ball 1. 1-1 the count.
Same spot. McIntyre trying to catch Dammy and see, all right, is he going to swing at this a second time? Let's see.
Testing the patience, or even, as you said, the aggression from Dammy. Is here's a 1-1 pitch, and there's a perfect example of that right there. That one way into the turf. Dammy swinged. It's 1-2 the count now. Following Dammy, Hunter Newkirch, and then Ashton Clough for Lincoln Northeast. 1-2. Swing, but just barely foul, tipping it off. It's Dammy for another 1-2 count coming up.
I'd like to see a fastball kind of low and inside, see if you can catch him off guard.
McIntyre will wait to receive the sign from Silos that he likes. He'll get set. There's that 1-2 pitch for McIntyre. Another fastball, just like you predicted, but unfortunately into the turf. 2-2 the count.
Dammy was wise to wait on it.
2-2 pitch. And it's in there. Strike 3. Dammy gets caught again.
Painting the corner
with that fastball. And there's the third strikeout today for Dean McIntyre. Hunter Newkirch, now the batter here for Lincoln Northeast. McIntyre has done this a lot against teams who have struggled really when it comes to their batting on the season. His power just too much for a lot of these young fellas, and because of that, we see North Platte in a very, very good position in terms of how they're pitching and their pitch efficiency is going so far in this ball game. As again, here comes Hunter Newkirch, and off speed almost sneaks in, but there's ball number 1. Newkirch this season for the Rockets, 174 average. Not a great year for Newkirch.
And what benefits McIntyre is this is only the 7-hitter up to this point. He doesn't have to face the top of the lineup until potentially next inning.
Yeah, he's, as you said, we talked early on with our Owls Lock and Safe keys to the game about, pitching and the battle of who's going to blink first. And so far, well, both pitchers have done really well. Dean McIntyre showing out as that one's launched into the gap in left center, and it's going to go all the way to the fence. That might be extra bases for the side of Newkirch. It will be a stand-up double for Hunter Newkirch with 2 outs. Of course, in last inning, Kobe Simons with his big double. This time it's Newkirch who will be launching one out there. We'll have a courtesy runner taking over for Newkirch. Will Fagler will be the one who's taking over. So Ashton Clough with 2 outs now will come up to bat with prime position to advance the runner at second. And there's the first hit today for Lincoln Northeast. And now they have an opportunity to draw first blood and bring a runner home against Dean McIntyre.
Still 2 outs, though.
McIntyre, a couple quick glances at second, fires a fastball in, and it's immediately turned on by Clough to foul it off for strike number 1.
Yeah, McIntyre's a senior, so I'm sure he knows this, but you can't get rattled by a double like that or a big hit.
the amount of baseball Dean McIntyre has played over his time at North Platte High School and through the American Legion is elevating quickly, close to it almost feels like 500 games. So he, as you said, is a well-experienced member and will not have moments like these really rattle him too much, as that pitch is outside for ball 1-1. But again, as I've said, some of his tendencies do lead to more pitches that go awry. We'll see how he handles these next couple of batters. As a quick glance at second again, the 1-1. Another pitch that's upstairs. Went back to that fastball, and it sailed on him. 2-1 the count now with 2 outs. Colton Sims is on deck, then back to the top of the order with Barrett Bond. Again, those, as you said, when you get to that top of the order, that's where most of the strength from this Lincoln Northeast Rockets squad comes from.
And they're used to the fastball now, so now they know what to expect.
2-1 the count. The delivery to Clough, and it's another fastball, but rocketed into the turf, and now Clough is staring down the barrel of a potential walk.
And Silos, after every pitch, is getting up and faking a throw to second, trying to see if he can bait Will Faglert into stealing on accident almost.
3-1 the count. McIntyre looking for a strike with this next pitch. Delivers. And it's just barely outside for ball 4. And with that, over to first goes Ashton Clough. And now out comes head coach Ricky Holm. Have a conversation with his senior pitcher. Whole infield will come out as well. Runners at second and first for Lincoln Northeast. A crucial moment early in this ball game. North Platte, so far this season, one of the things they have struggled with is when runs come across early, floodgates really start to open. So it does, in part come, because of such a young team that is out there playing right now. But Coach Holm trying to calm the waters. Again, just one more out. That's all they need. So force out at third, second, or first if that ball gets hit into the infield. For Colton Sims, and you want to talk about a prime opportunity to have this inning come to an end. How about some of the guy averaging 205 this season? It's perfect for Dean McIntyre if he wants to get back on the right track.
It's also likely Coach Holm might have went out there and said, hey, these are the kind of pitches I want you to throw. Put him in the right mindset so he knows the progression that McIntyre should be taking.
As there's a big swing and a miss from Colton Sims on the first pitch, and that talk already off to a good start as that fastball goes right past Sims, and now the outfield shifting to the right, and now shifting inwards in center field is Jackson Peters against Colton Sims.
Coach Holm making a lot of signs to his outfield and infield.
As McIntyre with 2 runners aboard now will deliver a pitch that gets away from Jacoby Silos, and that's going to advance both the runners at second and first up 1 base pad following the passed up ball. So Silos, who had done a good job early in this ball game of really stuffing those pitches that had gotten into the turf, one just sneaks right past him barely, and because of that, both runners have now moved up 1 base pad to third and second, so both now are in scoring position.
Deep breaths are important here. No damage has been done yet. The score still says 0.
1-1 the count. McIntyre getting the long side from Silos. Now time's going to be called by Colton Sims. As I said, this is a pretty crucial at bat because if Sims gets on, that goes right back to Barrett Bott, who leads the team in average this season. As that might be it, skied up, drifting on over. Silos gets underneath it. He lost it. Oh, and I think it's going to stay fair. No, I think it's foul. I mean, from my eye, I'm not going to lie, it looked like it actually stayed fair, but
looks like it bounced right in front of that base plate.
And even head coach for Lincoln Northeast was having a conversation. He almost was going to come out and talk to home plate umpire, but foul ball, and with that, it's 1-2 the count. I mean, it was eerily close to staying inside and being a fair ball, but home plate umpire called it dead, and now it's 1-2. 1 final strike to end this inning and get North Platte out of this scary situation. 1-2. McIntyre likes what he sees and delivers. That one popped up again, but it's fouled off by Sims. Bounces off the top of the scaffolding, and it's still 1-2. Again, pretty tense moment for both these two, knowing the situation they are in.
We've seen a lot of pitches inside. I'd like to see him go outside for this one.
Still 1-2 the count. McIntyre getting set. Another payoff. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs. Ball 2 from Dean McIntyre.
And I know I said I want to see him go outside, but it's very possible. Holmes said, hey, target this guy inside. Maybe saw something in the scouting report.
Colton Sims getting very active when it comes to his swinging already in this at-bat. Wouldn't be shocked if he's just trying to get him to swing at anything. Here's a 2-2 pitch now. Swing and a miss. That's how this inning comes to an end. It got hairy with runners at second and third, but Dean McIntyre was able to put down the side. And with that, we head to the top of the third. Still tied, 0-0. We come back here to Sherman Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
And enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with this unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
Looking for your next ride? Come to Bill Summers Auto Group in North Platte. Whether it's a brand new Ford, Honda, or Nissan, or a reliable pre-owned vehicle, we've got the inventory to match your needs and budget. Our dedicated sales staff is here for you before, during, and after the sale. Plus, great financing options are always available. Family is our business, and we can't wait to welcome you to ours. Stop by South Highway 83 in North Platte. Bill Summers Auto Group, open 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410. Always video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Paxton Gordon, Garrett Pog here for the A-2 district tournament between North Platte High School, the 5 seed, as well as Lincoln Northeast, who is the 4 seed, as Jacoby John is back up once again to the plate following last inning. Kobe Simons getting thrown out trying to steal third. Half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check him out on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Quick 2-0 count to Jonas. Dakota Bandy is on deck, then back to the top of the order with Jackson Peters, 2-0. Boy, it's 3 straight off-speeds from Ezekiel Arizola that all have hit the same spot way up in the zone.
Yeah, such a fun pitching duel to watch. You have Arizola, who's all off-speed, all sliders, and then McIntyre, who just rifles it in there.
It is kind of funny to see the different dynamics these two pitchers are performing at right now and to see which one's going to come through with a likely victory. And it's only took 4 pitches for Jacoby Jonas to get on to the base pad to lead off this inning with a walk from Ezekiel Arizola. And again, wouldn't be shocked if we're just going to see Jonas take off towards second. So Dakota Bandy seeing some action. This is going to be for Dakota Bandy, his first appearance at the plate this season, as quick pickoff attempt, Jonas gets back. According to Max Preps, so far this season, Bandy has yet to take any swings. So, I mean, what a time to come back and see what you're up against, as first pitch from Arizola outside for ball 1. Now he finally will find a strike after 5 unsuccessful attempts prior. Now this will be interesting to see how Lincoln Northeast is going to want to battle this. There's nobody out in this inning, and there is already a runner at first for the Dogs.
What are those infielders playing in up to this point?
Yeah, suspecting Bandy to lay a bunt, and again, it's a smart move with nobody out as another pickoff attempt. Jacoby Jonas gets back, and again, this is a real Ricky Holm classic. Nobody out, not even just a Ricky Holm classic at high school baseball play out of the book where nobody's out, a runner's at first. Would suspect a bunt coming in, specifically also from your 9-hole hitter, as he does lay that bunt down. Beautifully done by Dakota Bandy. It's on over to first, and guess what? Jacoby Jonas makes his way to third with some great base running because of how beautifully laid down that bunt was Jonas bolts his way all the way to third, and now there is a runner in scoring position for North Platte High School. With only one out in this inning following the beautifully laid down bunt by Dakota Bandy. And now what can Jackson Peters do? Of course, flew out in his first plate appearance versus Ezekiel Arizola. Flew out to Ashton Clough at second base. Any hit to the outfield will bring Jonas home as Peters looks to lay the bunt down and fouls it off for strike number 2 as they try to bunt on home.
And he bunted it towards the direction of the first baseman, trying to force Gavin Damey to make a decision. Do I tag the runner out at first or do I throw home?
I think the only option I foresee in a situation like that is just throw it home. Jonas, wow, good speed, not the quickest man on the base pads. Uh-oh, that one going out to center field. This is going to maybe score Jonas anyway. How does Barrett Bott's arm look as that's going to be picked up? Cutoff throw is not going to be in time, and that is a sacrifice fly from Jackson Peters into center field. And now for the first time today, North Platte High School breaks the stalemate, and they pick up a run, again, following that sacrifice flyout from Jackson Peters, and they now have a 1-0 lead on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. We meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to be. Ty Hanneborg reached on an error in his previous plate appearance as Gavin Dami at first could not hold on to the ball from Drew Van Dyke and allowed Hanneborg to get on to the top of the ball game. Now with one out, what can he do damage-wise? Give me 2 outs. He'll ground one foul down the third base side to make it 0-2.
It was an 0-2 count last time, too. So Arizola still got to be composed and still got to be calculated with where he throws this.
Okay, we talked about McIntyre with his not letting things get out of control and bad things go his way. What can Arizola do again with a run coming across for the Dogs as that next pitch will awkwardly fall all the way to the backstop. 1-2 the count now to Ty Hanneborg. Dean McIntyre on deck with Jacoby Silos in the hole. A 1-2 pitch from Arizola. Off speed, beautifully placed, and Hanneborg goes down swinging. And that's how this inning comes to an end. Not before one run did come across for the Dogs. They lead 1-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. We come back to Sherman Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, a video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NordPlattePost.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Warning, side effects of Dave's Place may include uncontrollable wing cravings and arguments over who gets the last slice. Our pizza is made from fresh dough.
With the best wings in town, fresh pizza, and the cold drinks, let's just say you'll want to stick around. Plus, the coldest drinks that give you one more reason to say, yeah, I'll have another.
Bring the family. Dine in, carry out, or DoorDash it straight to your couch. No judgment here.
502 East Francis in North Platte.
Dave's Place, where sharing is optional.
Whoop, whoop.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NordPlattePost.com. A 1-0 lead for the Bulldogs here in the A-2 district matchup. Winner faces Lincoln East tomorrow. Barrett Bott now batting for the second time. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance versus Dean McIntyre. Timeouts and half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Mr. Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group, helping Nebraska families, farmers, and businesses for more than 50 years. First pitch into Bott is very tight inside for ball one. Also, thank you to our other sponsors for today's game, Puro Clean, Great Plains Health, Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy, as well as Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services. boy, that one is absolutely smashed out to the gap in right center field, and it's off of the fence. That's going to be extra bases for one. Barrett Bott. That's going to be a triple for the senior. He launches it off of Dean McIntyre. Almost a home run. The wind not picking it up in his favor, but second hit today for Lincoln Northeast, and they put a runner in scoring position at third for Zane Long.
I mean, we're talking just a few feet from that being over the fence.
Almost even a few inches, it felt like, with how he smashed that one. And it's even scarier because, again, with nobody out, in this bottom of the third inning, and still the dangerous part of the order up, McIntyre's got to play a little safer now. As they showed bunt from Zane Long, but pulls back, ball number one. I think a little risky to try, especially with nobody out, a bunt attempt. But now the North Platte's on the case with Cade Freeze into the grass at first base.
Very possible he's just trying to fake it as well, trying to make that infield play in so he can smoke it.
As he smokes that one out now into left field, Dakota Bandy's going to have that fall in front of him, so that's going to be a hit for Zane Long. And just like that, we're tied up immediately, coming back to the bottom of the third inning.
And that ball just kind of plopped in front of the left fielder out there. I'd like to see him play a little bit harder for that.
And it is tough, though. That sunlight is directly in Dakota Bandy's eyes and left. So there's hit number 3.
The hat flew off, too. I should have mentioned
that is true as well. So third hit today for Lincoln Northeast, and it's tied immediately 1-1 for Drew Van Dyke, who walked in his first appearance versus McIntyre, as that one is then turned on to left field, and it's out of here. And in the blink of an eye, this game is now blown wide open in favor of Lincoln Northeast. A home run from Drew Van Dyke clears the bases, and it's now 3-1 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. That's home run number 4 for Van Dyke this season. Barrett Bott tied with Van Dyke, and if there's one person who is just as scary, it's that man right there, and he made Dean McIntyre pay with that fastball.
And it's the second time going through the lineup. They're used to the fastball. They know the speed that it's coming at. It's going to be more difficult to get these hitters out with just that typical fastball he's been throwing.
As Coach McIntyre's been trying to work on for the last couple of years, a repertoire of pitches. His fastball is his most prominent one, as Jacoby Silas now will go out and have a conversation with the senior pitcher. He's just improved leaps and bounds, McIntyre has. He used to 3 years ago when he started pitching. All he could pitch was a fastball, and now has really added on those off speeds. But against the top of the order, Van Dyke first it was Bott who was able to turn on it to a triple, and then Van Dyke smothering one out into left field. And now it's a 3-1 Lincoln Northeast lead in the bottom of the third inning.
And that is a true composure talk, trying to calm down your starting pitcher.
Carter Cone flew out to Dakota Bandy in his previous plate appearance, now facing off against McIntyre. And ball number 1 here, too. Excuse me, ball number 2 to Carter Cone. 2-0 the count now with nobody out in this inning still. As that one's squared up and fouled behind our press box.
You mentioned the control being an issue and the floodgates, trying to maintain the short lead rather than letting it get out of control. This is going to be very important for McIntyre.
And again, as I said earlier, this is kind of how North Platte's season is derailed so quickly at certain points. They'll have a good couple of innings, but then one little mistake, whether it be a bad pitch or an error, costs them a couple runs, which then will lead to a couple more runs, and then really you start to see those floodgates just open up running-wise for an opponent. It's now 3-1 the count to from Dean McIntyre to Carter Cone, and just like that, on over to first goes Carter Cone.
Yeah, a lot of those fastballs outside, having a hard time trying to locate that bottom right corner in the zone.
Now it'll be interesting to see what is Coach Holm going to do. He has been, I wouldn't say trigger happy, but he's had moments during his career when he sees things starting to fall apart. Going out and start warming up a new pitcher. Nobody's warming up. Just as I say that, somebody's actually starting to make his way out. It's Jake Kincaid making his way to the dugout to start warming up, as Bunt attempt from Tyler Anderson's fouled off for strike number 1. So just as I was getting the feeling that we would be seeing a pitcher head out to the bullpen to warm up, the North Platte's best relief pitcher, Jake Kincaid, starting to make his way out there right now.
And it's do or die. You got to be willing to make those decisions in the blink of an eye.
As there goes the runner, and that's going to bounce right off the back of Tyler Anderson, and it's probably going to be a short warm-up at the way this is going, unfortunately, for Dean McIntyre. Still nobody out in this bottom of the third, and Lincoln Northeast grabbing a hold of the momentum for Gavin Dami, who struck out looking in his previous plate appearance. Nobody out, and there's runners at second and first for the Rockets. As McIntyre trying to get back into a healthy rhythm.
Already at 52 pitches.
As it's in there for strike number 1, as Silos throws over to second, but not in time as Carter Cone gets back. So 0-1 the count. I mean, it caught everybody. Even caught McIntyre off guard with that pickoff attempt to second.
And the location was in the right spot. I think you're right when you said not in time because the power just wasn't there.
0-1 the count. As McIntyre taking a long time to read from the booklet after he got the sign from Coach Holm. 0-1. Runners at first and second for Lincoln Northeast. Still nobody out. It's bottom of the third inning. It's McIntyre. Was a bunt attempt, but pulling back was Gavin Dami, and ball number 1. North Platte trying to do some of their shenanigans in terms of catching the eye of whether it be a runner like Carter Cone with the sporadic movements from the infield, but nobody really jumping away. With that, it's a 1-1 count. McIntyre, long stare down to Silos, gets the sign he likes. Here comes that 1-1 pitch as Tommy again looks to lay the bunt, pulls back and swings one foul. So now he's down 1-2 the count. On deck, Hunter Newkirch and Ashton Clough. Newkirch hit that big hit not too long ago for Lincoln Northeast to the gap in right center.
Third base coach signaling something to the runners here. Let's see what we got.
Could potentially see a double steal. 1-2 the count with nobody out. McIntyre. He delivers way upstairs for Three runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Lincoln Northeast so far in this ball game. It's a 2-2 count as that one's lofted shallow right field. Onwards comes Landon Polk, but there to get it is Jacoby Jonas. And there's out number 1. Shout out to the young Polk. Of course, brother being Jack Polk. Dad Lance here.
And I'd like to see more communication between the second baseman and right fielder there. Jonas and Polk, just because they were both about inches away from colliding with each other and letting that ball hit the ground.
2 of the younger players on that side of the diamond as it's now with 1 down. Hunter Newkirch hit that double to straightaway center last time out. Has, again, 2 runners aboard and only 1 out in this inning. As he will take a second to take a breath and step back out. Following Newkirch, Ashton Clough, then Colton Sims. So Newkirch is the only one you got to worry about from his previous appearances. Is that off speed just barely misses the top near corner. It's too high for ball 1.
I mean, anybody in the city of Lincoln is someone you got to worry about with the amount of talent that is here in its metro city.
1-0 count. Again, Cone at second, Anderson at first for the Rockets. Fouled off by Newkirch. 1-1.
And double play is the thought here. I mean, McIntyre is certainly going to want something to be hit shallow to this shortstop or second baseman.
Yeah, there's a force out at any bag but home right now. Third, second, and first are the plays to be had. Double play would end the inning. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Another one that's skied up, and I think this one's not going to stay in the field as it goes right behind our press box for strike number 2. So now it's Newkirk who's down in the count 1-2 with 1 out. A good couple of bounce back pitches from Dean McIntyre after a tough start to this inning.
And it sounds cliche, but one pitch at a time. That's really how McIntyre has to be processing this.
Well, I say that, and that one's turned into left field. Dakota Banny's going to be there in plenty of time. Nobody's going to tag up. And with that, 2 down in this inning. Lincoln Northeast is getting some good hits in terms of their depth to the outfields. But after that tough start to this inning, Dean McIntyre really locking it down now. Ashton Clough walked previously. He's now up to bat, still with Carter Cohn at second and Tyler Anderson at first for Lincoln Northeast. It's McIntyre, the righty. Quick glance at second base, delivers. Clough hits that over to Cade Freeze at first. He'll step on the bag, and yes, 3 runs did come across for Lincoln Northeast, but a great way to end this inning for Dean McIntyre, not letting anything else come across. We now head to the top of the 4th inning. North Platte trailing the Rockets 3-1 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. We come back on FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
What do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-an-agent.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
Your feet carry you through long workdays, busy weekends, workouts, and everything in between. So when something hurts, it's hard to ignore. At Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists, they treat heel pain, plantar fasciitis, ingrown toenails, sports injuries, diabetic foot care, and more. Their experienced team focuses on real solutions, not quick fixes, so you can get back to moving comfortably. Don't let foot and ankle pain slow you down. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today and stay active with less foot pain.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Head to Merrick's. Open Monday starting in February. Also, try the new Philly cheesesteak sandwich, the most authentic cheesesteak in the area. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. A 3-1 lead on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard in favor of Lincoln Northeast. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Rockets. 1 run, 1 hit, no error for North Platte High School. Thank you to our sponsors for today's game. Justin Thompson Agency with American Family Insurance. No matter what type of insurance you're looking for, farm, ranch, auto, home, life, or business, they have the answer for your insurance needs. As McIntyre takes a hack at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off for strike number 1.
We talked about that composure when he's on the mound. Also have to have composure at the plate, so I'm curious to see how aggressive he is at the plate.
Of course, gave up that 2-run shot and the run to come across last inning. And has allowed Lincoln Northeast to kind of blow this game open up 2. North Platte struck first in the top of the 3rd, and then it was immediately answered back by Lincoln Northeast through 2 of their best players. As that's fouled again, it's now
That's 3
0-2.
Yeah, that's 3 swings at pitches that are outside of the zone. Thankfully, fouled off that 3rd time, but
of course, McIntyre trying to pull what happened with Drew Van Dyke and knock one out of the park against Arizola, who, again, going back to those off-speed pitches, will throw one to the backstop. 1-2 the count.
Arizola less than 50 pitches.
27 strikes, 18 balls at 45 total on the day. And reaching on one is McIntyre, will foul it off yet again and stay at 1-2. And for the Dogs, they just need to slowly but steadily put one foot in front of their other to get back into this game. They're not going to be able to power hit their way back, into this game tie-wise, as that's fouled off another time. That's 5 foul balls in this at-bat. Jake Kincaid has made his way back from the bullpen warming up, so we'll potentially see a new pitcher next inning for North Platte High School, as Arizola with his 1-2 pitch to McIntyre. That's into the turf, ball 2. So McIntyre's been taking a lot of fouls off, but pitches that have been in the turf, he's held back on. It's 2-2 now, the count. As Ezekiel Arizola fires. Hard hit, foul once more down that third base side. This is kind of where things would struggle for a control pitcher like Arizola. Somebody like Dean McIntyre is just going to perpetually foul one off all the time. It's going to really start to wear you out. And Arizola and his fastball have not been too hot today. Oh, I mean, that one just, if you're Dean McIntyre, lucky that one didn't get called. 3-2 the count.
I mean, right in the middle of the zone. I don't know how you can get any more middle than that.
It was pretty lucky there, and now it's a 3-2 pitch from Ezekiel Arizola, and he will walk McIntyre. So after the start for McIntyre, he was down 0-2. He will walk his way on over to first, and we'll have Tommy Haggard courtesy running for McIntyre. And again, knowing how things go from Coach Holm, that'll probably be the end of McIntyre's pitching day as well, so he'll go back to catching. So here's Jacoby Silos up to bat.
And credit to McIntyre for being able to hold on, even though he swung at so many pitches, to be able to sit for those last two, to be able to get that walk.
Just so battle. I was going to say, battle his way through that at-bat, and now Haggard at first, most certainly a steal threat. I'm not even going to even tempt to say, will Haggard steal? It's a given, especially when Tommy Haggard comes on as a courtesy runner. Led all of Class A with stolen bases last season. As Arizola now tries to pick off Tommy Haggard. And again, with a control pitcher like Arizola, who has a long windup for a speedy North Platte squad, that's like a death sentence for a pitcher, just because it allows them to get a nice jump. The Dogs have already stolen twice in this ball game. As there's a swing and a miss from Jacoby Silos for strike number 2. And now the young man's behind 0-2 as Haggard gets the sign. Wouldn't be shocked if we see Haggard on this specific pitch take off.
And he's only taken 3 strides off the base, but those are long strides. Those are long legs from Haggard.
Tommy Haggard's got a very, as you said, very long stride, as there's a pick-off attempt, and he'll get back in time. That one a little closer than it needed to be. Arizola, knowing the threat that Tommy Haggard possesses at first base. As the 0-2 to Silos. Check swing. I think I say he went around. Ooh, they say Jacoby Silos did not. I mean, that was pretty close, but lucky for the young man.
I would agree with the umpire there. It was very close, but did not square up with the ball per se.
1-2 the count now. As Haggard still at first. Pitch into Jacoby Silos. There goes Tommy Haggard as that one's grounded on over to Van Dyke. Can he get in a much better throw to first? He can, and there's out number 1. So Tommy Haggard will successfully steal over to second. And then Silos will ground out. Much better exchange between Van Dyke and Gavin Damias. That was where the only error for the ball game happened in the second inning.
Fortunate for Haggard to be able to run at the time he did. That was a very easy double play ball.
Yeah, if Haggard didn't go, I would assume that was going to be a double play. Now he's in scoring position at second for North Platte High School with Connor Stifler up to bat.
Stifler getting the first ball in his favor. It was very much middle inside. I would have assumed that was in the zone, but
struck out looking in his previous plate appearance. Arizola now at 56 total pitches on the day. Another off speed that swings the opposite direction, but still outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count, 1 out here in this top of the 4th inning. A 3-1 lead for Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets. Long glance at second from Arizola. Another off speed. This time will find its mark, 2-1.
Curious to see how long Arizola stays on the mound. I know as a coach, you probably want to have your young player come out with his head high, held high, not give up too many runs before he walks off the base.
Oh, a pickoff attempt as Haggard almost gets tagged down. He got caught, but was able to get back just barely in time, kind of hesitated, went towards third, and then had to quickly turn back around and dive for second, but he gets back. Lucky enough.
His agility rating would be a 99 if it were MLB The Show.
2-1 the count now to Connor Stifler as Arizona delivers. A bunt attempt from Stifler. That's going to probably be a successful play, and it is! Beautiful bunt from Connor Stifler gets Lincoln Northeast sleeping, and because of that, 2 runners are aboard. Now at the corners for Cade Freeze, an opportunity to bring another run home and cut into the lead for the Rockets as we have time going to be called and have a conversation with Ezekiel Arizola. Second hit today for North Platte High School. Of course, Cade Freeze skied one out to center in his previous plate appearance.
I don't see anybody out in the bullpen for.
No, nobody's really been warming up for Lincoln Northeast. So I would assume it's just a conversation with his infield. Again, with runners at the corners. Stifler at first, Haggard at third. Cade Freeze, if he's just able to loft one into the outfield again, easy enough will bring 1 run at least to home and cut this from a 3-1 lead to a 3-2 lead.
And that Lincoln head coach has to think about, all right, at what point do I pull him out? If it's at 2 runs or 3 runs, you want to maintain this lead. You want to be able to give Arizola the win, for the stat sheet, if that's important to you. But
so first pitch is in now to Cade Freeze, again, who flew out to center field. Now looking to lay the bunt down. Pulls it back. Throw on over to second. Now we're caught in the pickle. Throw home is going to be way in time. So Tommy Haggard takes off. So Connor Stifler will steal second, but unfortunately Haggard gets thrown out at home. Caught stealing. And unfortunately, the steadiest man that was on the base pad for North Platte High School, no more, as Haggard goes down, and there's 2 outs now for Cade Freeze to see if he can bring Connor Stifler home from second. Wow, that off-speed, man, took forever to get there, but Titans signed for ball number 1. 1-1 the count. Kobe Simance is on deck with Jacoby Jonas in the hole. So far the leading hitter for North Platte. Simance from today up to bat as that one smashed out into the gap in right field. It's going back all the way to the fence. That will drive one Connor Stifler home. Cade Freeze with a stand-up RBI double. And North Platte brings home a run, and it makes you sit there and go, gosh darn it. If that previous play didn't happen, you could be seeing a tie ball game right now, but North Platte getting not only their 3rd hit today, but their 2nd run off of a Cade Freeze double. Puts Kobe Simons, who hit a double to the exact same place that Freeze just hit his from, now up to bat. First pitch is down low for ball number 1. 1-0 the count with 2 down. Cade Freeze in scoring position at second for the Bulldogs. As Ezekiel Arizola, quick glance at second, twice delivers. Simons once again trying to go for the fences, swings and misses.
He sees blood, he wants it.
Again, the game-tying run is at second base. John is on deck. Dakota Bandy in the hole for North Platte. It's Arizola delivering another pitch. Swinging and a misses. Simons just a hair behind. It's now 1-2. 2 outs. Arizola now delivers. A pitch that's fouled off by Kobe Simons. So we'll stay at 1-2. It's a big moment for North Platte in terms of the opportunity to bring the tying run home and really keep themselves in this game. 1-2 pitch. fouled off once more from Kobe Simons. It's back-to-back now for the freshman. Another 1-2 pitch from Arizola. Hit hard on over to second. Oh, that one's dropped just for a second by Clough and then thrown to first in plenty of time. And that's how this inning comes to an end. One run did come across for North Platte High School. They were threatening earlier, but couldn't get it across. So they now trail by 1, 3-2, and we come back on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. It is 3-2 the lead for Lincoln Northeast.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair Dino Pay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
When cancer touches your life, you need care you can trust without traveling far from home. Great Plains Health Callahan Cancer Center delivers that expert care every day. We're thrilled to welcome Dr. De Silva, a board-certified physician with over 3 decades of experience treating cancer patients. Quality cancer care is closer than you think. Call the Callahan Cancer Center at 308-568-7386.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream. There is a pitcher now warming up in the bullpen for Lincoln Southeast. As leading off now, Colton Sims. A 3-2 lead for the Rockets entering this bottom of the 4th inning on our State Farm agent, Bobby Hull scoreboard. Half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann of the Fortify Group. You can see him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey. Sweet B as Sims will foul the first pitch off for strike number 1.
It was a bunt foul as well. Not sure what the play is there.
Just trying to get things, North Platte not expecting a bunt from a leadoff batter here in this inning. Probably can't go to that well for a second time, but it's 0-1 now. Barrett Bott on deck with Zane Long in the hole for the Rockets.
Both were very successful last time around.
As Sims will check his swing, but that pitch is there for strike number 2 from Dean McIntyre. There is still somebody warming up in the bullpen for North Platte. I believe still will be Jake Kincaid. So we're about to potentially see some turnover in terms of our pitchers here soon. 0-2. Outside, ball 1.
And we had theorized that was going to be the last of McIntyre after he got on base the last time around.
But, the way he ended that inning probably gave Coach Holm a little more faith he can try again early on in this inning. And if it all goes to haywire, then Kincaid can come on as down goes Sims, swinging and missing for out number 1. And second strikeout for Sims today.
And credit to Coach Holm for believing in his leader, his senior, his pitcher, to be able to go out there and to deliver potentially another great inning.
So Barrett Bott tripled the gap in right center field in his last plate appearance versus Dean McIntyre. Struck out swinging in his first. What started the run parade last inning for Lincoln Northeast as McIntyre's first pitch to Bott is squared up high to the sky to Connor Stifler at third base. Oh, he gets there, almost lost track of it in the sun, and there's second out of this inning with a pop-up. And now Zane Long, who singled last time in front of Dakota Bandy, now is up to bat.
And that was a first pitch swing, keeping that pitch count as low as possible, only up to 67 for Dean McIntyre.
Drew Van Dyke on deck with Carter Cohn in the hole. Getting to a point, again, as you said, at 67 pitches. It's a really happy spot right now in this bottom of the 4th inning. If you can maybe make it through one more half inning, you'd be pretty pleased with, in the 6th, moving on to Jake Kincaid.
Zane Long launched both balls to the left field in his last 2 at-bats, so Dakota Bandy has to be very aware of what's coming next.
As McIntyre now gets set up versus Long and will fire his first pitch in. Here it comes. That's way outside for ball number 1 from Dean McIntyre. Van Dyke on deck, and then Carter Cone in the hole. As whoever was warming up in the bullpen now for Lincoln Northeast is all finished up. Grounder right back to Dean McIntyre, and that is how this inning's going to come to an end. A quick 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th inning for the Bulldogs defense. We now head to the top of the 5th. Can they continue their scoring spree? Maybe. You'll have to find out. We come back on FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too. At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. New pitcher on the mound for Lincoln Northeast. They'll bring their second-best pitcher statistically, Tyler Anderson, up to be pitching now, as that's the end for Ezekiel Arizola. So far for Arizola, 68 pitches, 42 strikes, 26 balls, and that is how his day would come to an end. So already going into the pitching well early in this ball game for Lincoln Northeast.
Well, we say early, but it's the top of the 5th.
Normally in terms of if you're in a long relieving situation in the MLB, this is a terrible time to bring somebody out, but for high school baseball, it's almost right on cue sometimes to bring a new pitcher in the 5th inning. Jacoby Jonas now up to bat. He walked in his previous plate appearance. Dakota Bandy on deck and Jackson Peters in the hole. And there's a big swing and a miss from Jonas. And here's kind of the difference we're going to be seeing in this new pitching from Anderson. He does have a fastball. Shown it not only in that first pitch, but the second one as well. And quickly, Jonas is in the hole.
He swung at both of those. He swung at both of those. I'd like for him to sit still and kind of see, all right, what am I working with Ty Anderson?
Next one. That's outside. Another fastball from Anderson. But, freshman Jonas, a little antsy early up versus the new pitcher, Ty Anderson. 1-2. Swing and a miss. And it only took 4 pitches, and down goes Jacoby Jonas. And again, we are already seeing the tempo change from Arizola, who was more of that off-speed, methodical, controlled type pitcher, to the speed of Ty Anderson.
And it's got to be like whiplash going up against him.
As that one's turned on to right field from Bandy, but it's fouled off. Anderson, 3.35 ERA, 1-1 in terms of win-loss in his 12 appearances. He is the leading appearance man for side of Lincoln Northeast. 31 strikeouts, 14 walks, so a good ratio for Tyler Anderson as Bandy looks to lay the bunt, but it's fouled off. 1-2 the count. Following Dakota Bandy, Jackson Peters is on deck. Rockets holding on to a slim 1-run lead, up 3-2. Swing and a miss as Dakota Bandy goes down, and that's back-to-back strikeouts from Tyler Anderson, and there's 2 up, 2 down for Jackson Peters, who flew out to bring a run home in the 3rd inning. Now up to bat with 2 down to see if he can crack Ty Anderson. First fastball in there, strike 1.
That looked a little low to me. I'm surprised they called that strike 1.
0-1 the count now, as Peters looks to lay down a bunt, but it's going to stay fair and stepped on the bag, and that's how this inning comes to an end. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Dogs offense from the new pitcher, Tyler Anderson, We now immediately go to the bottom of the 5th inning. North Platte High School just trailing by 1, 3-2 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard when we come back.
Most out of your college experience doesn't have to break the bank. At Mid-Plains Community College, you'll receive personalized instruction at an affordable price so you can transform your future. Don't spend another summer just thinking about your next step. Take it. Enroll in summer or fall classes at MPCC and put your goals into motion. Start by applying and connecting with an advisor who will help guide you on your journey. Your future starts right here. Learn more at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Chad's at Runza.
Post-workout fuel.
Then you want the Cobb salad.
It got protein?
44 grams of it.
Ha, respect.
Popcorn chicken, crumbled bacon, hard-boiled egg, tomatoes, cheddar.
For the gains.
And a side of Runza homemade ranch.
For the soul.
Try Runza's Cobb salad. Available for a limited time. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
North Platte Post Sports.
Well, back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. 3-2 lead, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Lincoln Northeast. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs as Dean McIntyre still on the mound.
Almost 70 pitches in.
Yeah, for the Dogs here, Drew Van Dyke, the first batter that he'll face, can hit that 2-run home run in his last plate appearance. That was in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Half-inning breaks are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as Justin Thompson, agency with American Family Insurance, the ever-changing industry standards. They pride themselves in top-notch customer service no matter what type of insurance you're looking for. First pitch from McIntyre to Van Dyke squeaks in on the far side for strike 1.
Probably the best off-speed pitch we've seen from him all day.
Following Drew Van Dyke, Carter Cohn, and then Tyler Anderson for the Rockets as he follows up that off-speed with another one that's into the turf for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Again, this is the second scariest bat in the lineup. Of course, crushing that home run last time, in his last at-bat. Another fastball that's outside for ball 2. Presumably what I'm expecting from Coach Holm is next inning they will bring in Jake Kincaid in the 6th and then for the 7th.
I can't imagine McIntyre coming in for the 6th. That's a good call.
Next pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's a second strike of this at-bat. Beautiful fastball from Dean McIntyre.
And it was a big swing, too. He was looking to take that yard once again.
2-2. Nobody out in this bottom of the 5th inning. McIntyre delivers. Well, that's way away. Nowhere even near the zone. It's 3-2 now. Big pitch from Dean McIntyre. Does not want to lead this bottom of the 5th off with a walk to Drew Van Dyke. Here comes pitch number 75 from Dean McIntyre. Upstairs and outside, ball 4, and Van Dyke will walk to first. Carter Cohn walked in his previous plate appearance, and now with a runner at first base being Drew Van Dyke.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen a pitch to hit there. I mean, I know you're kind of scared of that, the big bat that he has and his power ability to be able to hit the deep ball, but
that's one of the batters that is not going to take a hastily swung on, attempt on a ball outside. Somebody like Carter Cohn might be able to get away with, but not Van Dyke. Van Dyke has 13 stolen bases this season. Could add one here as they look to lay the bunt down, and that one is beautifully placed, but McIntyre will swing it to first. That does advance the runner at the very least, but only one out. Nice attempt and better defense because it was kind of trending toward a direction that it could get just out of the reach of Dean McIntyre and away from Jacoby Jonas at second and allow both runners to get aboard, but beautifully hunted down by McIntyre. And there's out number 1 of this inning for Tyler Anderson. He was hit by a pitch last time out versus McIntyre. Has Van Dyke in scoring position at second for the Rockets. Leading by 1, 3-2. McIntyre delivers. There's a nice off speed in for strike one. 0-1 the count following Anderson, Gavin Domi, and then Hunter Newkirch.
And this is the third time these guys are seeing him. So I like the off-speed approach as opposed to the wicked fastballs he's been throwing.
As that one's going to be grounded on over to Ty Handeborg at short. Gloves it, throws to first, it's in time, and there's out number 2. The runner does advance to third. And now, with 1 out left in this bottom of the 5th inning, Gavin Domi, who's 0 for 2 now up to bat versus Dean McIntyre. And for McIntyre, probably the biggest pitch of the game so far. Just because if he can get this ball, if he can get out here, stops the runner from scoring, and it's only a 1-run game.
Yeah, huge going into the 6th to be only down 1.
That one's tight inside. Ball 1. Good stop from Jacoby Silos to make sure it doesn't skirt past him. Newkirch, then Ashton Clough are on deck and in the hole next for the Rockets. Here comes the 1-0 pitch with 2 down to Domi. Way upstairs and away again. 2-0. Now, if I'm looking for somebody I want to be a little afraid of, Newkirch, who doubled in one of his plate appearances, is the guy I do not want to be seeing next. So I can see maybe why McIntyre's trying to force some pitches in here. As that one upstairs again, ball 3. Pitch number 81 now for Dean McIntyre.
And though they've all been outside, I like the pitch placement. First one was low and in, second one high and away. This one just high and tight.
And that time it's right down the center for strike 1 as Gavin Domi thought that ball was once again tight inside for a ball, but now it's 3-1 the count. For McIntyre, as he will now deliver to Silos. The 3-1 pitch. Turned on and fouled off, and now it gets really interesting as it's a full count 3-2 to the first baseman. The runner in scoring position at third. Maybe the biggest pitch all night. As McIntyre shakes off a couple. Now likes what he sees. The 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Oh, way tight inside for ball 4, and there's a walk over to first for Gavin Domi.
And though it resulted in a walk, I don't mind that attempt there. Seeing if you can get him to swing. Again, no damage is done in this inning, but again, Newkirch,
just yet.
Newkirch is a guy who can watch it.
Doubled to the gap in left center field in his first plate appearance. Did fly out to Dakota Bandy last time out. Has runners at the corners. Van Dyke at third. Domi at first. It's McIntyre's first pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Seeing that control start to waver more and more, specifically in this inning for Dean McIntyre.
Yeah, now you're in trouble. Now you cannot let this guy walk.
Next pitch. Check swing, and it's in there, strike 1. Honestly, it wouldn't be opposed because Ashton Clough today has not shown that he can consistently hit the ball. But we're going to have a courtesy runner. It looks like coming in for Gavin Domi at first. That courtesy runner is Trin Buckley for Lincoln Southeast. So it looks like they're going to try to steal Buckley over to second. Buckley does have 3 steals in his short appearances so far this season. We could see a double steal attempt here from the Rockets. Try and get Van Dyke home. 1-1. Swing and a miss from Newkirch on a beautiful off speed. It's now 1-2, and here's another big pitch for Dean McIntyre. I don't want to say the game's on the line, but huge opportunity to get out of this inning unscathed with a runner in scoring position at third. There goes that steal, and that one's easily popped up. John is going to get underneath it, but called off by Ty Handeborg, and that scoring threat comes to an end. It got a little dicey for Dean McIntyre, but he was able to close it out strong. We head to the top of the 6th inning. 9 more outs left to go in potentially North Platte's season. Can they get a run to tie it when we come back on FM 98.1 and AM 1410?
Did those cold winter breezes make you realize there's more air coming into your house than there is outside? If your windows are rattling, fogging, or just plain drafty, it might be time for new ones. At Larry's Glass, they specialize in high-quality replacement windows that keep the cold out and the comfort in, saving you money on your energy bills, too. Stop shivering and start saving. Call Larry's Glass today or stop in at 211 West 5th. See the difference new windows can make.
Craving bold flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field. It is a slim one-run lead for the Rockets here over North Platte High School on FM 98.1, AM 1410, 3-2 as we enter the top of the sixth inning and 9 outs left to go in this ballgame, potentially North Platte's season. Half-inning breaks brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. See him on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As well as Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, and they're bringing those services to the North Platte area. As well as Runza, Double Dips, Merrick's Ranch House, and Mid-Plains Community College. All right, Ty Hanneborg, who's 0 for 2 today. Of course, one of those 0 for 2 attempts reaching on an error. Now faces Tyler Anderson. Anderson with a quick 1-2-3 inning in his first full inning last time out. Now faces Hanneborg as that fastball is tight inside and low for ball number 1.
Yeah, 10 pitches last inning, 8 of those being strikes. He was very impressive last time out.
1-0. Turned on to right field. Up underneath it gets the new right fielder, Will Fagler, and he gets there and easily gloves it for the first out. Now at bat, Dean McIntyre walked in his last plate appearance, flew out to Barrett Bott in his first. This is a part of the order that, for North Platte High School, not been the strongest this season after after McIntyre. So it is going to get a little dicey as we get down to the final inning. And when you have that section of the lineup, as it's swung on and missed, it's 1-1 the count.
Which is what makes this part of the lineup so important, that they do their job and get at least a tie or even a run forward.
1-1. Foul back from McIntyre. It's 1-2 the count now. Big pitch from Tyler Anderson here against McIntyre. Turned on again and fouled off. Of course, the one batter this season who's done really good against fastballs have been Dean McIntyre.
I like Anderson's approach, how he's able to kind of hold it in his glove until the very last second.
Off-speed pitch tight to the ankles for ball 2. 2-2. Right back to the well of off speeds, and now it's upstairs for ball 3. And after what was a good start for Tyler Anderson's, now 3-2. 3-2 pitch quickly from Anderson. Oh man, in there, strike 3, and down goes McIntyre looking.
Just barely clipped the zone in the middle inside.
I was about to say he was kind of walking over to first, thinking he got the luck of the call, but unfortunately not. And just like that, 2 are out here in this top of the 6th inning for Jacoby Silos. That's an off speed from Anderson. That one beautifully placed.
And you mentioned this, how quickly he's pitching. It's so rhythmic. It's hard for the batter to really be able to settle in.
Next pitch is high upstairs, and that also has been a little bit of an issue for North Platte, not even just at the high school level, but even during American Legion. When these pitchers really start to pick the tempo up, the Bulldogs and offense has not been too nice. As that little grounder over to first is in time, and that is how this inning comes to an end. Another 1-2-3 for Tyler Anderson. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still Lincoln Northeast up 1, 3-2 when we come back.
Workdays, busy weekends, workouts, and everything in between. So when something hurts, it's hard to ignore. At Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists, they treat heel pain, plantar fasciitis, ingrown toenails, sports injuries, diabetic foot care, and more. Their experienced team focuses on real solutions, not quick fixes, so you can get back to moving comfortably. Don't let foot and ankle pain slow you down. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialists today and stay active with less foot pain.
Puro Clean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. Puro Clean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give Puro Clean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at Puro Clean in North Platte.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field. It is bottom of the sixth action on FM 98.1 and AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon, new North Platte Sports Director. Garrett Pogg sitting right next to me. It's a little weird saying, I'm not going to lie, I've been preparing myself to say that, but it still just feels weird saying that right now.
Feels weird hearing it, too.
I know, isn't that right? Just at one point, it'll just all be just, have it at that point. But we're in the bottom of the sixth. Dean McIntyre is still on the mound, and we had a conversation off air about that decision by Coach Holm to keep Dean McIntyre still out there on the mound. 88 total pitches so far, and well, we might not agree with it too much. He has been getting along pretty well in the last two innings, even if it wasn't pretty. And certain moments of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing a dangerous game keeping him out there. I understand potentially the last game of the season, you want to try to save your best relief, Kincaid, for tomorrow if you do, in fact, win.
Yeah.
But if this thing falls off the rails, we can point to this moment right here as where it could have been changed.
As that one's a little looped over to Stifler at third. He gets underneath it, and good glove from Connor Stifler at third. And, honestly, if it makes us eat crow if he gets through this inning, unscathed, it's just one of those things where, still a good decision. I'm not really hating on it. We've talked about, Kincaid was warming up during that bottom of the, third inning, more bottom of the fourth, when we really started to see Jake Kincaid warm up. But holistically, McIntyre's had a pretty good last couple of innings. Even if, some of them looked a little wishy-washy and hasn't been too clean, he's gotten the job done. And I'm not too upset as we have a pinch hitter, Carson Smith. He technically is the best hitter so far in this season for Lincoln Northeast, but he's only played 7 games and has only been up to bat 4 times. He's batting .500 in those at-bats as he faces McIntyre for the first time and swings and misses on a beautiful off-speed pitch for strike number 1. We're down to now 5 outs left for North Platte High School in the season.
Potentially.
Potentially if they can't get anything going in the top of the 7th, as Smith fouls one off. Strike 2. Up next, Barrett Bott, Zane Long, and then Van Dyke. So, the scary part of the lineup. Yeah, the scary part of the lineup if Carson Smith gets aboard.
And Smith being a pretty good hitter in 7 games. I wonder if he's
the
secret
say that,
weapon.
and he tips it off into the bat for a strikeout. As down goes Carson Smith, and now there's 2 down for Barrett Bott. So far, it's panning out really well for Coach Holm, the best pitcher so far statistically this season for North Platte, coming up strong in this game. He just had one little blemish on his mark today. Other than that, man, Dean McIntyre, what a way to potentially go out. I say that, and, you just speak it, unfortunately, and he nails Barrett Bott right into the leg, hitting him, and over to first goes Bott. For now, Zane Long, who grounded out to Dean McIntyre in his previous plate appearance. But again, last, year of high school baseball, I have to check with Coach Holm on the age of McIntyre to see if he hasn't aged out of American Legion. But, last high school season, you put together your best hitting year, you put together your best pitching year by far, and have put up an immaculate game just minus that bottom of the 3rd inning. As there goes the runner, Bott. Silos over to second. He was on the right track, but just a little bit behind in terms of getting there, and successfully stolen base for Barrett Bott. And to be fair, also, it's going to be big holes to fill for Jacoby Silos, so that's where his position is going to be going forward, being the catcher. McIntyre holding that down for, feels like a decade since I've been here, all 4 years, there's only been one catcher for North Platte High School and American Legion. It's been Dean McIntyre. As Long fouls the pitch off for strike number 2. So it's currently 0-2 now to Zane Long, the bottom of the 6th inning. McIntyre glancing at second to Bott. And now Long stare down, likes what he sees. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Long. Turned on and fouled off, staying once more at 0-2. Drew Van Dyke is on deck, so if for somehow, in some reason, Zane Long gets on board, he just got to get through the one extra batter.
And North Platte fans probably crossing their fingers, You can get through this inning without having to deal with Van Dyke once again.
0-2 pitch from McIntyre to Long. Swing and a miss, and that's how this inning comes to an end. All right, 3 more outs left to go in the ball game. Can North Platte come up with not 1 but 2 runs to retake the lead and come away with a victory to move on to tomorrow? We'll have to find out when we come back on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Experience the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with its unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See me, Pete Volz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
North Platte Post Sports.
All right, welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, the literal biggest inning of the year right now. North Platte High School, Lincoln Northeast, winner of this match, heads to take on the number 1 team in the A-2 district bracket, being Lincoln East tomorrow. Final inning of baseball. If North Platte can't come away with 2 runs, well, just 1 run to keep it alive, but 2 to get the victory. As first pitch to Connor Stifler is swung on and missed, and then grounded on over to third. Carter Cohn throw to first, and there is 1 down in this inning.
And this is what you live for as a high school baseball player. Top of the 7th, save opportunity potentially for Tyler Anderson, and for the batters. I mean, this is where legends are made.
Well, where the money is, they don't make no money right now, but if they did, this is where the money is made.
NIL maybe at the next level?
Potentially, of course, with how college sport is going. First pitch to Cade Freeze from Tyler Anderson is low to the ankles for ball 1. He hit that monster double in his last plate appearance that gave North Platte hope, and they got to run across, and swings and misses on his next one. Again, Tyler Anderson's just rolling through the motions right now, and it's gotten North Platte kind of all out of whack as Cade Freeze took some time and now will get reset.
It's tough for batters to, and I mentioned this in the last time Anderson was out here. It's tough for batters to be able to settle in.
That one's foul tipped off for strike 2. Of course, if you remember, North Platte last year against Creighton Prep fell just by 1 run. And of course, Creighton Prep, a top 5 team last year, in some people's opinion, the best team in the state. 1-2. Outside. Ball 2. Counting the blessings there was Cade Freeze. It was close.
Yeah, Lincoln Northeast faithful already were making noise thinking it was a strikeout.
2-2 the count to Freeze. Swing and a miss. And now North Platte is down to their last out of the ball game. And it's the young man, Kobe Simons, who this season has been a real bright spot for the Bulldogs. He doubled already in this ball game. And now up here against Tyler Anderson for the first time. That fastball into the turf for ball 1. Following Simons, Jacoby Jonas, and Dakota Bandy, so the youngest part of the batting order for North Platte High School.
Lefty on lefty matchup, too.
That one's fouled off by Simance for strike one. Again, the future of North Platte is up to bat here with Simons, Jonas, and Bandy. So, love to see what the young guns can do. Is that fastball, man, it just barely sneaks in the far side. And now we're down to just one final strike. As here comes the 1-2 pitch. High up over onto third. Cone throws to first, and that is how the season comes to an end for North Platte High School. One run short once again as they fall to Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets here in the opening round of the A2 district. 3-2, and for some of these seniors, the end of their North Platte careers, and Dean McIntyre finishes the day 98 pitches, 57 strikes, 41 balls. Ty Hanneborg, well, he didn't record a statistic. 2 big home runs this season. Cade Freeze, the senior, going to Kansas City, Kansas Community College. And it's going to be just weird next year. A lot of the guys that, specifically for me, who has been part of this program for 4 years, a lot of new faces next year, and not a single one of them being from the original team that I came into. But for North Platte High School, while this season may not have been the best season from a statistical mark, now after following this loss, 4-21 on the year, for them to go out the way they did, tooth and nail to the very end and falling just 1 run shy, and you hate to go back and play that 50-50 ball of, what would happen if, Tommy Haggard didn't get thrown out at home when he was trying to go home on that double steal attempt. Would North Platte, so we would still be playing baseball right now. You hate to do that, but that was like the one last chance that they could have gotten something across. And they actually also had other opportunities that they were unable to capitalize on and just fall down by 1 run, 3-2 in this final game of the season.
Yeah, and you hate to replay history. You mentioned the Creighton Prep game last season, falling by 1 run, falling by 1 run here today. But honestly, this is probably the best game that this North Platte team has played where they lost, and it's unfortunate that has to be in the district playing game.
Yeah, for the playing game right now. And honestly, if there was one game that you would highlight as like, when's the perfect time to play your maybe best game of the season,
it would have been today.
Would have been today, and it's exactly what they did. Maybe the offense didn't come through as much as Coach Holm was looking for, doing 3 hits in the day, but all 3 of those hits came at not only big opportunities, but they were big hits as well, loud hits to the outfield, and just fall that 1 run shy. And, for in his final game for the high school, Dean McIntyre, 98 pitches, 57 strikes, 41 balls, only giving up those 3 runs in one specific inning, that 3rd inning. That's the only blemish he had on his sheet all day today. And if it wasn't for, Ty Anderson coming in and shutting it down the rest of the way, if Ezekiel Arizola stayed in for 1 more inning, I think North Platte would have crushed this game. But it's just so tough for it to have to end this way.
Right?
Yeah, always a lot of the what ifs, but it's a tough way for this to end for North Platte High School, just falling 1 run shy of making it into the next round and facing off against Lincoln East. But as we said, able to keep their heads held high by going out, with a bang and putting their best foot forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you got to credit the Lincoln Northeast team. Obviously, an unsuccessful season so far, with 15 losses on the year, but to be able to come out, play your best game, and really put yourself in a position to have a better game tomorrow against a really strong team, you got to give credit.
Yep, and that's how this game will come to an end. North Platte falling 3-2. We'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, our Quick Stop post-game show on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Let's workout fuel.
Then you want the Cobb salad.
It got protein?
44 grams of it.
Ha, respect.
Popcorn chicken, crumbled bacon, hard-boiled egg, tomatoes, cheddar.
For the gains.
And a side of Runza homemade ranch.
For the soul.
Try Runza's Cobb salad, available for a limited time. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
When cancer touches your life, you need care you can trust without traveling far from home. Great Plains Health Callahan Cancer Center delivers that expert care every day. We're thrilled to welcome Dr. De Silva, a board-certified physician with over 3 decades of experience treating cancer patients. Quality cancer care is closer than you think. Call the Callahan Cancer Center at 308-568-7386.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo, how to protect what you have waited for. Find me at 405 East C Street in North Platte.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, live streaming on our video live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Paxton Gordon, Garrett Pog right beside me. A sad way and a somber way to end the season for the Bulldogs as they fall to Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets in the opening play-in game of the A-2 District Playoffs. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Lincoln Northeast. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. And again, I can't highlight enough how this was their best game of the season so far. No team errors at all. Only the one little small blemish where the best part of the Lincoln, Northeast lineup got a little hang of Dean McIntyre. But outside of that, you had, their best players step up. Hence why they're called best players. And that was the only blemish today.
Exactly. And I mean, you got to credit, even in situations when McIntyre got himself in sticky situations, 8 batters left on base for Lincoln Northeast. That's incredible considering the type of talent that is in the Lincoln area, obviously, and the type of competition that Northeast played coming into this and what they were expecting.
Yeah, Northeast leaving 8 batters stranded on the base pad is gigantic, because that's 8 opportunities that could have been come home at some point and helped drive this score up. We talked all day and even into the pregame about, don't let the game get out of hand. Don't let the floodgates open. We actually had, I think, 2 straight innings where we talked about, okay, things are getting a little dicey, a little dicey. Don't want the floodgates to open up here after a couple of bad stints. And, credit to the senior Dean McIntyre. He put the foot on the gas and, he really closed up all of the doubts. I'm going to say, doubts aren't the word I've been used, but like the scary moments, he really didn't allow that to consume him like we've seen previously in some years of him pitching. He really showed that leadership, that seniority that you get when you are playing baseball for as long as he has. And he gave North Platte the best chance that they could in this game specifically to come away with a victory. And and like you said, give credit to North Platte, a team that struggled offensively this season in terms of producing runs against some really, really tough opponents. They stepped up to the plate and had some big hits when they needed to. It's just unfortunately the biggest hit that they needed to come away with were unable to. The second, Tyler Anderson, came up to the plate, and that's just why Lincoln Northeast is actually quite a scary team, because you play, Ezekiel Arizola, who just lulls you to sleep with off-speed pitches, and then you bring on the fastball guzzler that is Tyler Anderson. It just throws your team for a loop, and for North Platte, they were just unable to really crack the code in such a short time of Tyler Anderson, and he's the one that came away and helped power Lincoln Northeast to a victory today.
Exactly, and I would go back to McIntyre, in moments when you and I were both clenching our fists, like wondering, oh boy, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, we had talks about, a relief pitcher coming in. We're like, well, we'd expect probably, Jake Kincaid to come in at the 6th or 5th inning, with the way things have transpired in the last 2 innings in the 3rd and the 4th. But he, as you were probably going to say, just put it all to rest immediately and said, I'm going to be the one that's going to get us through this game without any other mistakes. being played with.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't mention it on the broadcast, but he seemed cool, calm, and collected pretty much the entire time, playing with his shoulders down more so than clenching up.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, we were. And
Yeah.
man, he was phenomenal today. Obviously, you mentioned the one inning where things got a little out of hand, but for him to be able to be as composed as he was from, beginning to end, with the exception of one bad moment, man, credit to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was more calm, cool, and collected than I probably was. I definitely was, as I normally do, feel stressed out of my mind, watching baseball games for this team just because, so invested and you see all the players, you talk to the coaches all the time, you get so invested in. Moments like these are always the toughest ones, to always talk about and have to go through, because it's not only the end of the season, but it's the end of time for a lot of these seniors who have given their all throughout the baseball program, not just at North Platte High School, but the American Legion team. As I said, McIntyre came in as a freshman before he even got to high school, played at the senior level, and then made his way all the way from start to finish every offseason, Legion, into practicing just specifically for the spring baseball season, day in and day out. Same thing with Ty Hanneborg, who was a multi-sport athlete, doing the same thing. Cade Freeze, last season really got his eyes onto the radar with that fantastic performance versus Creighton Prep, where he shut down one of the best offenses last season, and only allowed them 2 runs to come across holistically, and what led him to get an offer from Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and of course, here having his season come to an end as well. It's just this is always the toughest moment for everybody, even just the parents as well, because you sit there and you watch your kid play through Pee-wee baseball to T-ball and to then actual regular baseball, and now it potentially could come to an end for a lot of these guys, but knowing these 3 that are going to be making their way out, they got extra things going on at the college level going forward.
And you mentioned things coming to an end. It's also the end of their time in Class A. I mean, it's
not confirmed yet.
Not confirmed?
Not confirmed yet. We
All
can't
right.
spill those beans just yet. Don't jump the gun here, buddy. Can't jump the gun just yet. Of course, the rumor not officially confirmed just yet, but the rumor that has been going around is that, this is the end of North Platte as a Class A school. They'll only stay up in Class A at football as well as women's wrestling. So that is not yet a confirmation. That's just been the talks through the grapevines that have come my way through a lot of different sources that are much more connected with the situation. But if this is the end of how North Platte will be as a Class A school, for the meantime, of course, when it comes to enrollment, that's always a fluid thing. North Platte as a whole is looking to, as you talk to the mayor and you listen in the Good Morning North Platte, talk about the increase to the population they want to bring in with building more housing, sustainable beef, hopefully bringing more families in. Wouldn't be shocked that they get back to their level of where they want to be in enrollment-wise. But if that rumor is true, yes, they will be going down to Class B next year outside of a select few, A being football just because they changed the rules and, girls wrestling not really having many districts left to go.
Yeah, I mean, so apologies to jump the gun
Say,
there.
don't jump the gun just yet. You got to wait until we get an official press release, on
for
that
sure.
one.
But if it is, I think you bring up a good point where, Class A brings you out to these metro areas quite a bit, while Class B would kind of give North Platte the opportunity to play some teams a little bit closer to them, similar size to them. So, again, it's always a fluid situation, as you talked about. But you talk about the end of a lot of things and the beginning of new things. Very possible North Platte could be looking at something new next season.
Yeah, and that's always, you can even talk to the parents. I have my complaints about sometimes the drive, specifically on Friday nights when you're going out to an Omaha school on a football Friday. But, you talk about the parents and the kids who make these treks more frequently than I do. If it is true that they are going down to Class B, it's going to be a little bit of a sigh of relief just because, yeah, you will be able to play a lot more schools that are in your closer area. McCook's a Class B school. You can play McCook more frequently now and not have it really reflect upon your power projection
And
points.
reestablish some rivalries, too, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah, you can actually now have the rivalry of the areas, being McCook and North Platte, because that is the closest school, in air quotes. I actually think that actually is the closest school, because Cozad is not actually that close at all. So, but yeah,
What's close in Nebraska?
You bring up a great point. But yeah, can really reestablish that, McCook rivalry, because the closest rivalry that North Platte has at the Class A level is Kearney. And yes, we all know, and everybody that's listening right now and in the city as a whole knows how much they hate Kearney as a program. But yeah, you can really, get those local rivalries kind of skilled back up where it actually means something. Like, no, it didn't really mean much because you're playing a Class A school, playing a Class B school. So in retrospect, it actually hurt North Platte more to play McCook just because you lose power projection points. If you lose that game, well, McCook will just always gain power projection points because they're playing a class above them. So now, yes, the rivalries can kind of be more central just because of the close variety that we will have. But again, no certain confirms at the moment, unless I haven't checked next year's sports schedule at the moment. I don't believe the NSAA has dropped sports for fall of next year in the softball, because that's always kind of been the first inkling of what's going on. But if this is, how a lot of these things come to an end, whether it be, with some of the baseball team players that are at the senior level and the school as a whole at the Class A level, you couldn't have gone out with a better way of trying to make everybody super proud of how things have gone down, how things have transpired, putting your best foot forward, playing the best game of the season against a Lincoln Northeast squad in the opening play-in game of the A-2 district tournament. Hopefully head coach Ricky Holm will be finished with his conversation with the team, which, of course, as we all know, will go on for quite a long time as he has a lot of things to talk about with the players. So step aside. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have, of course, more of our Quick Stop post-game show right here on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Start your day with gourmet coffee with Quick Stop's 100% Arabica house blend and Quick Stop's Seattle Buzz coffees. Quick Stop Rewards offering exclusive discounts and fuel rollbacks. Savings up to 15 cents per gallon with Sinclair Dino Pay using your debit or credit card. Quick Stop can refresh with Frazzle gourmet slushes and For Real shakes and smoothies. Or customize your favorite fountain drink with flavor shots and everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Always up and right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Looking for your next ride? Come to Bill Summers Auto Group in North Platte. Whether it's a brand new Ford, Honda, or Nissan, or a reliable pre-owned vehicle, we got the inventory to match your needs and budget. Our dedicated sales staff is here for you before, during, and after the sale. Plus, great financing options are always available. Family is our business, and we can't wait to welcome you to ours. Stop by South Highway 83 in North Platte. Bill Summers Auto Group, open 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
Craving bold flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
Getting the most out of your college experience doesn't have to break the bank. At Mid-Plains Community College, you'll receive personalized instruction at an affordable price so you can transform your future. Don't spend another summer just thinking about your next step. Take it. Enroll in summer or fall classes at MPCC and put your goals into motion. Start by applying and connecting with an advisor who will help guide you on your journey. Your future starts right here. Learn more at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Did those cold winter breezes make you realize there's more air coming into your house than there is outside? If your windows are rattling, fogging, or just plain drafty, it might be time for new ones. At Larry's Glass, they specialize in high-quality replacement windows that keep the cold out and the comfort in, saving you money on your energy bills, too. Stop shivering and start saving. Call Larry's Glass today or stop in at 211 West 5th. See the difference new windows can make.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to Sherman Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Garrett Pog, Paxton Gordon here at the final site for North Platte High baseball as their season comes to an end. 4-21 on the year as they fall to Lincoln Northeast and the Rockets 3-2. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Bulldogs. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for North Platte High School. So we jump into some of our post-game stats here. Garrett, what you got for me as I see you clicking away over there?
Yeah, I just keep coming back to Dean McIntyre pitching the entire way. For him to go out, I guess not going out on top, but I mean to go out playing the way that he did was like phenomenal. 6 innings pitched, very close to 100 pitches thrown, only a 4.5 ERA and 7 strikeouts, which is very, very impressive.
Yeah, 7 strikeouts to go along, with his 98 total pitches he threw. The 4.5 ERA is kind of a little untelling in terms of statistically as, I'll be darned, that's Carter Kelly. Look who's here. Carter Kelly has shown up to this final game, and Landon Greeno, so former North Platte High players showing up here for some of the final times. Carter Kelly, who is actually, if you don't know, at the University of Nebraska, just signing this offseason. Of course, went to Johnson County Community College in the Jayhawk for Division II baseball, and now, of course, got an offer from University of Nebraska, and now will be playing over there at third base. Landon Greeno also here as well, it seems, part of the team from last season. Good to see him make his way back. And I think there is one more there that I just can't see wearing a gray shirt. I'm trying to find.
It's a family reunion. We can definitely say that.
That's right. Yeah, family reunion here on. Unfortunately for some of these guys, again, their last game of the season and their last game of their high school career, as North Platte High School falls here to Lincoln Northeast. 3-2 on our Quick Stop post game show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. So, for you, Garrett, even for me as well, that's the final game of the high school season. We will be covering all high school sports are officially done, so we will not be back in action until August. I had to take a second to think about when me and you, you specifically, not even me, but you specifically here for North Platte, back in action in August with the new redefined Class A structure, of course, going into effect next season. That'll be at Kearney at UNK as Bulldogs will take on the Bearcats once again. Head coach Cool for the Bearcats, not a part of the team anymore. And you get a whole new Kearney look, and then North Platte looking to be playing upset, as they almost certainly do sometimes when they go to the side of Kearney.
And we'll be on the air for some Legion baseball games.
You know it. Gosh, you just took my thunder, man. God heavens, I have to drive 3.5 hours home with you, and you're taking my thunder away. Yes, he will be back in action when it comes to American Legion baseball, starting in, oh my good heavens, 2 weeks almost from now, when he kicks up his first game against Cheyenne at home. That's a 3-game series starting on the 22nd. For Garrett Pog, I'm Paxton Gordon. I'm officially signing off for the final time as North Platte High School and North Platte Community College commentator, as this was my final game moving up the ladder. Garrett Pog will be taking over and left in good hands for you guys. Thank you, as always, for not only tuning in today, but tuning in for the last 4 years of me covering the North Platte area. It's been an honor not only getting to call games for you guys, but also talk to the many different types of players and family members that are out and about. North Platte falls in the A-2 district tier to Lincoln Northeast 3-2. Again, we'll be back in action in just a couple of weeks for American Legion baseball when we come back here to FM 98.1 and AM 1410. Signing off here. Thank you, guys, and see you in a couple weeks.
Warning, side effects of Days Place may include uncontrollable.
My name is David Merrill. I'm the head chef over here at the Cedar Room. What I hope to bring to the community is an opportunity to explore new horizons that people maybe haven't before because it was too expensive, too intimidating, too abroad. And I just kind of want to bring an opportunity for people to try new things in, exciting ways that, are still small town affordable. Stop on by at the Cedar Room located here in the historic Canteen District.